Hi, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the challenges of working at home, specifically fatigue. I've heard a couple people say throughout the springtime and summer that they feel as though they are working almost 4 or 5 times harder than what they're normally used to. And I'm here to validate and say that indeed you are working harder. And I'm going to explain why today. Like I said, these are short videos that are going to get right to the point. So, one of the reasons why people feel, including myself, feel as though we're working harder even though we're at home is that there's not a distinction or separation between work task and home task. And so for me, I have my son that's with me, and I have to do all my fatherly responsibilities. I got to tell him to clean his room. He's a teenage boy, right? So I'm sure many of you have the same challenges that I have in terms of like keeping the rooms clean, doing laundry, keeping up with chores, keeping up with reading, monitoring how much they're sleeping in, what time they're going to sleep, extracurricular activities if they're doing them, video game consumption. So all that is running through my head, even though I'm working from 8 to 4:30. Well, actually 8 to God knows how long, right? Because sometimes it's after that time for some of us that are the salary managers and folks in the group and stuff. So, but that is running through my head simultaneously throughout the day in conjunction with the list and litany of growing tasks that we all have in this very demanding context and setting. So a part of us, would think intuitively that, oh, well, yeah, we're working from home. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, yay, hooray, hurrah. But there is two frames of mental weight or things that you're thinking about in your brain simultaneously. Because most times when we go to work, we physically get up, we physically get dressed, and we get into our vehicle and we arrive to an office, right? So the question is my family actually at the office space with me? No, they are not. My family is not. My family was either at school, my spouse or significant other or partner was at their job or whatever the case might be, but they were not seeing me during the daytime physically most times, right? So that whole structure or perspective has been completely shifted now. So now I no longer have distance amongst myself. Now, if you're fortunate enough to be able to have, an office, or you're fortunate to have a specific space that's allocated to your work, that's a wonderful tool to have if you're able to do it. Really, if you're able to find a space in your home, apartment, wherever you find yourself in, a specific space that's dedicated to time that you're working, it makes things so much more easier. But now, once again, it doesn't diminish the demands that we have to take care of our families too, right? So I could be locked away in my, in my closet or my workspace or whatever, but yet, my son's like, Dad, I'm hungry. It's time to feed me. And I'll tell you a quick story. So my son just turned 12. He's a national ranked wrestler. Okay. He's just going through puberty. He wears the same shoe size that I wear. So he's just like this growing giant that is living in my house that I am responsible for feeding and buying all of his clothes and taking care of him. So I have to constantly have food available for this giant man child. And that's demanding. It is. It's demanding. It's demanding to have to make dinner for him because normally he'd be at school. He'd either have a cold lunch or he'd be, he'd be at school and they'd get a hot lunch for him. But now that assignment is now assigned to me. So as I'm in a meeting or something like that, he can come at any point in time and be like, Dad, I'm hungry. I want some food, right? So those demands weren't placed there before. So just because you're at home does not necessarily mean that your busyness is not as much as it was before. That's a misnomer. I think sometimes we think home comfort, but now the barrier between, we call it, work-life balance. That balance is tipped heavily now towards work because the work is now required to be at home with us the entire duration of time. So we're not able to flip off that switch. I mean, it's like checking an email at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm guilty of this too as well. I'll check an email at 10 o'clock at night while I'm supposed to be spending time with my family. Yikes. Now, doing that every once in a while when it's required is necessary sometimes, but doing that consistently throughout time further adds to the payload or overbearance of tasks and activities that weigh us down. So if we continue to not establish work boundaries, work will feel 24/7. We will not have a break. We will not have a vacation. We won't have any time for ourselves. And we won't have any time for our families, which leads me to my next point. We want to be able to make sure that we, the individual, takes time for us specifically. So I think sometimes we think like, okay, well, I'm spending time, I'm going on vacation, or I'm spending time off from work, and now I'm at home. But you aren't doing things exclusively by yourself and with yourself that you enjoy. It's like having a family vacation. It's really not a vacation. It's like it's work that you're doing to build up so your family can have vacation, but you're facilitating it. Now, hopefully after, a couple days, everybody gets settled in, you can kind of start to relax, but your parenting or your life structure is still there for the most part. And I'm speaking primarily to individuals that have families or loved ones or older parents that they're taking care of in conjunction as well. Because now with the social distancing, it's really hard to take care of our parents that are getting of age as well, in conjunction with the work that we're doing. So it has its perks and it also has its drawbacks too as well. So both are equally true. However, recognize though, there is a reason that you're feeling that additional workload. You're feeling like you're working more often. It's because the work is at your house. You can't leave your files at the office anymore, right? The files are in your bedroom. The files are in your closet or something. So it is ever present and it's there. And because of that, there's no physical or psychological distance between the two. And that's a part of why that you're feeling the way that you're feeling. So this is a video to validate, yes, you should feel fatigued. Yes, you have every right to feel fatigued. Believe me, do not let anyone try to convince you that you should not, because you do definitely feel tired. You are working extra hard and you're not able to have, for me, I'll just be transparent with you all. It all starts to run together. Monday through Sunday runs together to me. I don't even know when the weekends are because it's all running together. So, and that's a part of the problem. Now, if you can somehow create a distance, so you say, okay, at Friday, I'm checking off. I'm going to get all my work assignments done and I'm checking off on Friday, if that's possible. Now, of course, there's some work weeks that we just simply can't do that. Got it. But there has to be work weeks where we can allow ourselves to do that. And if we're going to go on a vacation, we're going to go up to our cabin, that is a time that we check out. We must have time that we check out from technology. So according to literature and research, my background's in psychology. Those of you who might not know that, background's in psychology. I am a doctoral student who will be a licensed psychologist the next couple of years here. So I do a lot of research. And what we do see is that there is an increase in depressive-like symptoms with the increase as well of technology and social media consumption. So excessive technology and social media consumptions. Because most of our jobs, we're doing what? We're solving problems. We are analyzing and solving problems. And that cell phone, we pick it up and we click that email icon, we're fixing problems. Very seldom are we getting a gift from someone. We're fixing problems. And that's the nature of the beast, right? That's the work that we're doing, is that we're fixing problems. But we can't continue to hear problems 24/7. We have to be able to check out, because if not, we're going to see a decrease in our productivity. We're going to see a decrease in our overall well-being and happiness for the work that we're doing, or even appreciation of the work that we're doing. We're going to see a decrease in that. And also we're going to see an increase in potential burnout rate. And burnout's another video that I'll talk about a little bit later on. So we'll cover that topic later. So to wrap this video up, yes, you have every right to feel tired. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Set some time up for yourself to enjoy you. Yes, enjoy you. Even with your family, set time up for yourself to enjoy you. Because believe me, you will be a much more happier and productive person if you do that. Thanks for your time.